The fish are beginning to school a lot of places in the South. What's a bait that you might not suspect to use in school fish, but oftentimes it'll catch the largest fish in that school? Good morning, guys and girls. May 29. I'm reading from my Catch a Better Life book. If you want a copy of this book, you can go to jimmyhouston.com. You also go to any Bass Pro Shop store around the country, Barnes & Nobles, Hobby Lobby, Books A Million, just about any place that carries books has got Catch a Better Life. If you want this thing autographed, if you order from us, be sure and tell us who you want it autographed to. And when you place that order, we can't guess that. So, and if you bought a book somewhere else you want autographed, if you'll send it to us, I'll be happy to personalize that, autograph it, and send it right back. We're looking at the book of Jimmy. I do that every time, don't I? James 1:19. James is an awfully good book of the Bible. James, the brother of Jesus, and James 1:19. My beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, listen, be slow to speak, Jimmy, and slow to wrath or anger. Let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. Here's what I wrote about that. A jig can be fished in so many different ways. It's a very, very versatile bait. My buddy Tommy Monsoor from up in Wisconsin is maybe the very best swim jig fisherman ever. I mean, he swims a jig and he's just dynamite at it. I mean, most of the fish he catches on a jig, he catches swimming that bait. Not dropping it, bouncing on the bottom or anything like that. Not pitching it, not flipping it, swimming the jig. And he's certainly been my teacher in that. Chris, obviously, like she did in most everything, she got better at fishing a swim jig than I did, no doubt about that. She probably paid a little bit more attention to what Tommy was saying. One of his keys to swim jig fishing is to use fewer strands of rubber in the jig for better action. You hear what I'm saying? So in other words, take whatever jig you're using, if you're going to use it for a swim jig, cut a few of the strands of rubber out, maybe 25, 30% of them. Another is, and this is very, very important, do not set the hook. Don't set the hook when you're fishing a swim jig. Simply start winding fast when you get a bite. So in other words, you get a bite, you start winding real fast. Don't be jerking. You jerk, you're going to miss a lot of them. You'll miss a few fish if you'll just start reeling fast. You get a bite, start winding real fast, and then set the hook. I always value Tommy's advice. It's always great. It's great for just about everything. He's a great fisherman, but he's really dynamite on that swim jig. Today's verse is even more important advice. You hear what I said? Today's verse is even more important advice. If every man and every woman, as today's verse says, would follow God's advice to be swift to hear, that means listen. Slow to speak, yeah, Jimmy, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. Don't let every little thing get you mad. Don't fly off the handle when something goes wrong. Be very slow to wrath. Make it difficult to make you mad. In other words, when something happens, just kind of let it roll off your back. Don't even pay a whole lot of attention to it. Somebody does you wrong, just say, oh, well, so what? Be slow to anger. Slow to anger. A lot of people call that patience, but slow to anger. If everyone did all that, what a wonderful world this would be. The fact is that you and I can. That's right. You and I can be swift to listen, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. And we should because of what God has done for us. We should do exactly what God recommends. Let's make that our goal today. Let's make that our goal, to be swift to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. Here's our tip for today, a jerkbait. That's right, a jerkbait. Isn't that a surprise? A jerkbait will often catch the largest fish when bass are schooling. It's not a bait you normally throw in schooling fish, but the fact is you can pull that thing down, you can just suspend a jerkbait, stop it, it's going to sit there right where they are. And if you're going to have it floating back, it's going to float back, pull it down, float back, pull it down, float back. So you can really rip that thing through there. And many times that'll catch the biggest fish in the school. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. We just about used up the merry month of May. Remember, I sure do love you.